Hey guys, it's West here, back with another episode of From the Crumbs. A lot of stuff has happened since the last episode, and you wouldn't believe it by looking at my crystals and my current state of mana. But I did purchase um, the two packages, the two 4-year anniversary packages. They don't show up here anymore because I did purchase them, and yeah, I burned through those crystals like nobody's business. I didn't think I was really capable of farming that crazy, but it was 9 days ago that I purchased both of the packages, and 9 days later, I am out of the crystals already. I had 3,600 crystals on my account, if I remember correctly. The $100 package was bought for me by my amazing girlfriend, SM Starry Night. You guys may know her as my moderator. If not, she hangs around in the comment section a lot. But anyway, she bought me that as a gift. She said I was allowed to summon one premium pack and use the rest for farming. And within 9 days, I was able to use the remaining 2,900 crystals, and I was able to farm through all of them, or 2,850 crystals, something around there. And I was able to farm through all of them. First thing I want to talk about, I did attempt to tease this a little bit in the thumbnail of the spontaneous stream. I'm not sure how many people watch it, and I don't blame you if you don't, because I know nobody wants to sit through, or a lot of people don't want to sit there for 2.5 hours to watch content that isn't planned out. It's spontaneous. So I do try to show off future content, or give little teasers of future content in my thumbnails of previous videos, or show what's to come in the next video by thumbnailing something that had happened in a previous, or happened after the recording of the previous video. But anyways, the thumbnail included these two beautiful girls, and I am referring to the water twins, the water boomerang and the water chakram dancer, Talia and Sabrina. And they are amazing. Their damage output is really, really insane to watch. Overall, their rune quality currently is pretty terrible, and I have been really happy with the results. So we're gonna go ahead and hop. We're gonna hop into Kairos first, I guess, or I'm not Kairos. We're gonna hop into Feynman to start, just to show them off a little bit. So we'll put them with Galleon. Actually, we'll bring them without Galleon because they do buff themselves, or the Chakram Dancer does buff herself, because I just want to show off this damage, and I'm so happy. So I do have the Chakram moving first. This is just by accident. You can see they're 15, 22, 22. So that's, this is not a unit showcase as much as this is me being really, really excited. But that was around 60k damage if my math wasn't incorrect. But you could see the boomerang always attacks first. That's just how the sisters work with their team up ability, is that when they attack together, the boomerang will always attack first, and the boomerang has the boomerang's two skills that aren't the passive skill, both land defense break, or both have the potential to land defense break, which is just insane. With the self buff from the water chakram and the defense break from the water boomerang, you don't even need a Galleon to really see these girls shine, and it's really, really impressive to watch. I know that the harmful effect rate of the defense break is around 50% on the first skill with no skill ups, and I think 50% per hit for 3 hits on the second skill. So even without them, though, you see huge damage. So I'm going to go ahead and show their runes now, because I'm just totally obsessed with them, and I look forward to building teams with them, and I really want to show off just how amazing they are. These runes are not good. These are leftover runes. I'm not trying to trigger people when I say these are leftover runes. These are runes that aren't currently on one of my core damage dealers. And the only damage dealers I have built right now, I have Sigmaris built on Swiftblade, I have Hraesvelg on Swiftblade, I have Amir on Swiftblade, and it's pretty much all my Giants damage dealers are on Swiftblade. So I had some leftover Fatal runes. She's on Fatal Blade, she's on Swift Energy, and anyways, here's her stats right now. She's got a little bit of HP, which I'm really happy about. I wanted to get her to around 20k HP. I know that sounds kind of stupid for a nuker, especially of her caliber, but I really wanted to make sure that she had some survivability, since she multi-hits a lot, and I wanted to play around with her in Giants a little bit. But I did get some accuracy on her because I really want to land that defense break as often as possible. Like I said, I know that the harmful effect rate chance is not really that high, but honestly, with the amount of hits these girls get off, one of them is bound to land, especially if you have accuracy, where you could get past that accuracy resistance check. She also has accuracy for Guild Wars, but not super relevant. Anyways, her first skill decreases the defense of the enemy, and then she attacks with the chakram. Of course, when either sister teams with the other one, the one that you're not attacking with, so the one that's being teamed up with, or teaming up with the sister you're attacking with, right? And I guess I'll just give an example to make this easier. If the chakram dancer attacks, the boomerang warrior will attack with her, right? And the boomerang warrior will always go first. We'll always use her skill first. But the boomerang warrior, I believe, will always use her first skill when she teams up, and that's just what I believe happens, right? And no matter what, she's gonna go before the chakram dancer attacks. So this means we got that chance for a defense break. It also means it doesn't matter what the speed tuning is. Really, you only need one of them that's fast, and the other one could just be on a slow damage dealer build, because no matter who moves, the boomerang is going to go first and have a chance to do her stuff. So their multipliers are insane. They're upwards of 300% per skill, and they attack together with these crazy multipliers. Their base attack is pretty good, 780, 770 on her, but I think she goes up to 780 as well when she is max level. So their multipliers are really good. Their base attack is pretty good for a nat 4, and yeah. Other than their multi-hit possibly killing them in Giants, I don't see any huge downsides to bringing them there. I know they are water units, but their damage output is just so crazy. Something to mention as well is the Water Boomerang's third skill really increases the damage a lot. 35% more damage to enemies with no beneficial effects is pretty huge. And taking 35% less from enemies with beneficial effects is also pretty huge, because in the Giant stage, of course, when you're attacking the boss, basically you get to lap him twice. Probably you get to go 2 times before the giant, if not at least once, of course. And this means you're going to be doing all that extra damage to the giant, of course, because the giant isn't going to have any beneficial effects. And then when he does, you're going to take less damage from him, which means there's a higher chance of you surviving. Also, why I wanted to put some more HP on her, because just in case. She can maybe take 1 hit from the giant with the Vero or Sig lead, because I am using one of those leads right now. I currently don't use a better lead. And I'm going to go ahead and shut up about how good they are, and just show you guys here. Ironically, talking about the Vero on the team, I am going to take him out in order to put the 2 twins in. I take out Vero and Amir. The only person I really, really need here, or really want to have here, is Hraesvelg. The defense is pretty set. The defense break is pretty set in stone with all the multi hits these girls have. And you saw even there with no defense break, they were able to take down that water golem. But the defense break is pretty set in stone even without the golem. You see that. So having the attack buff with Hraesvelg is really nice, because we really want to have really high uptime with that attack buff, since that's the only thing that we can't really get reliably without skill ups. Yes, we have Galleon, but knowing Galleon, it's really nice to have a backup attack buffer. So we really have 3 different units that all can make sure that the Chakram dancer has attack buff. Of course, herself, as well as Galleon and Hraesvelg. We have Sigmar's here for the leadership skill, which is nice, as well as the max HP based damage. Sig is on a speed crit damage attack build now, rather than an HP crit damage attack build that Sig was on. You saw there upwards of 90,000. That was like 105,000 damage. Really good damage. Here's where we're going to see the huge numbers, is at the boss if we get this brand on. We didn't land the defense break. There's the attack break, though. That's another neat thing. Attack break and heal block. Semi-relevant, because you can use her in other places where that's really, really, really powerful. Like Necro, for example, where the heal block is really good. But she has other debuffs as well when they attack together. And you can see this is a 120 time. This is not ideally the team I would have set up. Also, I haven't really thought about the speed tuning at all, or put time into it. And I am bringing Sig here. I don't really need Sig here, because Sig is mostly here for single target damage. I know Sigmaris can do some really good AoE damage on these waves, but with the speed at which these water twins can take out units, I'm not really worried at all about single target damage anymore. We do just fine at the boss stage without Sig, even though Sig can hit for upwards of 30,000, sometimes 35 or 40,000 with a brand. But I would rather take out Sig for a more reliable AoE damage dealer. Of course, a Lucian in this team would be really, really nice. And yeah, I've been looking at the Wind Twins as well because I know that they have a lot of usability in Giants. Mostly the Wind Chakram Dancer, because not only does that mean I have two, or I have an extra unit, which means 2 units that can benefit from the Water Boomerang. Um, 2 units besides the Water Boomerang, who can really benefit from that crazy passive of doing increased damage. But the Wind Chakram Dancer, besides having the awesome elemental advantage, is also going to ignore the damage reduction effects. That includes the effect of the mid boss in Giants B10, and I'm not sure how many of you really think about that or take that into account when you're building your teams or when you're worrying about clearing the waves. But when a water golem is below 50% HP, they would take 30% reduced damage, I believe. So this means that with the Wind Chakram there, when the Wind Chakram attacks with the Water Boomerang, you're doing a lot more damage, because not only are you not getting reduced by the passive of the Water Golem once you get them below 50%, but you have the Water Boomerang who's going to defense break. You have the self attack buff that the Wind Chakram has as well, I believe, and you're also doing that extra damage because they're probably getting close to, or they're also going to take the damage from the Water Boomerang's 35% additional, because there's no beneficial effects on the Water Golem. The Water Golem has nothing that gains beneficial effect. It reduces the incoming damage by 40%, so you're only doing 60% typically of the amount of damage you would do. So instead of doing 60%, you're doing 135% or 135% damage because of this water boomerang. That's insane. So you're effectively, more than doubling the amount of damage that you would have done with the same runes on a comparable nuker at that boss stage, or at that mid boss stage, if that makes sense. I may have worded that incorrectly and it sounded weird. What I'm saying is you're doing a lot more damage by taking advantage of the Wind Chakram here. And you can see here that the runs are semi-reliable. The only time we have any troubles is if everybody derps or if someone dies before. But the thing is, with this team, I mean, nobody dies in the waves leading up to it, really. We just have so much single target nuke. But the Wind Chakram and Wind Boomerang, the reason I built the water ones also on this account, not only because they were my favorite pair, even though I know the Fire Chakram is really good, the Water Twins were my favorite same element pair of all of the elemental twins. But I also have the Wind Twins on my little brother's account. And so that will allow me to keep my resources on this account, from going too far into the realm of just playing around with things. I don't like to 6-star units just to play around with them, just to create a new toy for fun in the game, although I do occasionally do that, of course, because I do want to enjoy the game, but I don't want to stunt my progression too much by putting, too many resources into leveling monsters that I'm not going to use. The water boomerangs, or the water boomerang and water chakram, I know I'm going to use. I'm going to put them in Necro. I really want to use them in Dragon's B10, and I can use them in Giant's B10 as well, clearly. You can see the damage there is just insane. I mean, bigger numbers than Sigmaris's max HP base damage. So single target, they're just so nuts. And they're not even on the best runes I can give them. And I guess that leads me into the next thing I want to talk about, which is how important it is to consolidate your teams. The fewer units you can use across the most teams, the more efficient your account is overall. And I guess while we're on the topic of the water twins and I'm talking your heads off, I might as well show you my new water beast score. I was very surprised that I was able to obtain a double S score with this team. I'll go ahead and show you guys though, because it is without a doubt because of these water twins. I know somebody in the comments is already writing up their comment of this is a better team to get double S. I'm not worried about that. As long as I hit A ranks on the teams, that's all I care about. I mean, I threw them in here because I want to make sure I get my reappraisal stones every week, something I haven't really talked about a lot, and I've totally not even thought about in the past, but is so important, is reappraisal stones. That can be the difference between having a, crappy legendary crit damage rune that's sitting in your box that you pulled from Giants and a G1 grind ready rune that only needs grinds in order to make it an S tier or double S tier rune. So I have been working on that. because I do want to get, those 3 chances per week to potentially make a rune really, really good. It allows me to keep runes, of course, and of course, even if I don't have the reappraisal runes or reappraisal stones, I keep the runes that can potentially be reappraised just in case, because it's, there's no point in selling a rune that has potential to be really good, especially if it's a slot 4 with an innate sub. Oh man, slot 4s with innate subs are pretty insane, but even just legendary slot 4s, and I do mean legendary, no matter what I say. When I reappraise a rune, I don't reappraise anything less than a legendary rune. I know it's inefficient, it's a waste. It's like using Devil Mon on a Nat 3 or a Nat 4. It's just not worth it, especially since you're going to find a better rune to replace it eventually. Using reappraisals on legendary runes is how I made one of the runes that I think I'm using on the water boomerang. I got a really good crit damage fatal rune that I reappraised, and it became pretty good. It was really exciting. It's also how I obtained the rune that is, I believe, currently on my crit damage Veramos. He's on that to give him a lot, give him sustainability and all this other stuff. And it's a rune that's ready for grinds, and it's a rune that I'm going to use forever. I don't see a point in the game where I reach and I don't like that rune anymore, just because it's got good speed, it's got accuracy, HP, and it has attack. So it's pretty much all around, like the perfect rune for a monster that's going to be in a swift crit damage build in RTA or arena or anywhere like that. So I guess I have to show that rune after this. It's not often I hit the double S score. I failed to mention that. It's not often I hit the double S score, but I was able to reach that double S score with this team, which was really exciting because I didn't expect to do that. The only thing I was aiming for was to down the boss twice and hit 2 million damage. And I was surprisingly able to hit that more often than I thought. The big thing that causes the success rate of this team to go up is phase RNG. Occasionally fail violent proc 2 or 3 times and then ignore defense on 3 hits, which could be the difference between whether or not I'm able to clear it out all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the rune and probably wrap up the video. But here we got 8+ rank. Water Beast has been, or the Ice Beast has been like an issue in the past in terms of clearing it. Like the Fire Beast was always the one I was able to clear before, but now I can do the Water one too, which means I'm going to be crafting these re-ups, and I'll show you guys here. I am just a few piers away, so I'm going to be grinding the Water Beast or the Ice Beast more, since higher rank means higher chance of getting the pure crystals, just from what I understand. So I am going to be farming to get this one more re-up, because 3 times per week, that's huge. That's 12 times a month, 12 potential chances a month to make a rune really, really good. So I am going to be farming for those, and I'll show you guys this Veramos rune. I've talked about it in the past. I probably showed it off in the past too. Yeah, speed, defense, accuracy, attack. There's not too much to say about it. 1 less than max roll attack, 2 less than max roll speed, 3 less than max roll defense. It could be slightly better, but it's still amazing. And I would grind the crap out of this rune and use it until I stopped playing the game, because it's, these are the kind of runes we want. The fatal rune I was referring to, the Water Boomerang Sister, was it this one? It was not this one, because this is like a blue rune. Yeah. There's a crit damage rune on somebody that's really good. It wasn't this one either. I don't know. Somebody ended up with a crit down here. We'll just do this. We'll sort it the way we're supposed to. Ignore this Lisa. I did play around with some raid 3. I did some R3. Oh, this was the legendary rune. Yes, this one rolled. It rolled triple speed. This had to have been triple speed. Yeah, this roll, no, base stat into speed. Yeah, triple speed. And just was a bad triple speed rune, right? What am I thinking? Yeah, 6 times 4 is 24. 4 less than it could have been. And then it rolled 1 into flat HP, which sucks. If it rolled 1 into HP or accuracy, I could have grinded the last stat up. But it's 20 speed and a crit damage rune, so I'm going to keep it for sure. And if I do put any grinds on it, I am going to have to get rid of that flat HP. I know people are going to cringe because it turns it into a hero rune, but this is a rune I'm really, really happy about. Eventually, it could be a plus 25 speed crit damage rune for somebody. So I don't think I'm going to touch it again because, it's 20 speed regardless. I just thought I'd share that with you guys, though. That was the reappraised rune that I reappraised the crap out of. But that wraps it up pretty much. I did an R3 run with a crap team. Actually, I'm just not going to show it. It's not worth anybody's sanity for me to show it. But I used Miang, Lisa, Mav, Faye, and the two Chakram and the two twins, and I believe that was my team. And it was just, we won because I just nuked it, and it was like R3 or something. I was just screwing around to see if I could do it. Don't worry, I'm not pushing into raids. I got bored and it was really, really late, and so I started doing stupid stuff. Always right before free rune removal, I start just rooting everything up haphazardly because it's fun and because free rune removal means that I don't have to worry about the consequences. So free rune removal is coming tomorrow. This is my conclusion statement. I know this is a 20-minute video. Sorry for eating up all your time. Free rune removals tomorrow. I want to put the Chakram Dancer on Violent. I do have sufficient Violent Blade runes to rune her up with almost identical stats to what she has now, like runes like this. And I am probably going to have to unrune Faye a little bit, which a little bit sad, but Faye can be faster on other runes, so maybe not as sad. But it means we might not see those Violent procs on Faye for a while. That's okay. I'm gonna try to put her on Violent and play around with her. I have a few speed team ideas for Dragon's B10. Yes, I talk about all the time how I'm not super worried about Dragon's B10, but I think that my rune quality has increased enough for me to be able to do it. I have a little bit more of an understanding, and as usual, I have a big notepad full of a bunch of stuff that's going on, a bunch of different teams I want to try out. I won't spoil too much of that because my free rune removal tests and tribulations are either going to be on a stream or on a video or a mixture of both, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. But I want her on Violent because I want her to use this third skill as often as possible, and yeah, she can do some crazy damage. Other than that, I'm going to put the water boomerang on some good stuff, and if all else fails, I just ruin my Giants team back up and I stay in Giants. No big deal. I'm not even stressing about it. In terms of raid monsters, the raid runes that I've been picking up, the HP and defense slot 2s, the Zhang Fei runes, pretty good so far. Not where I want them to be for R5. So maybe another month of farming. If I had 3,600 crystals every week, pretty much, I could burn through them, and I could probably be Conqueror 2, Conqueror 3 within a month. Just the amount of progress that I made in those 9 days of farming after having the ridiculous amount of crystals was insane. I didn't expect to get any of the drops or farm nearly as much as I did in that amount of time. I was up to like 6 million, 7 million mana. Not a lot of mana for some people who are high level and pay to win. For me, that was the most mana I had ever accumulated at one time. Much less in 9 days. But I burned through it all, powering up really good runes that I can't wait to show you guys in the free rune removal trials and tribulations video. So if you guys have any questions or comments, of course, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. You guys want to see my monster box real quick? Pungbake. Good patch. Small aside. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Hey guys, it's West again. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more.